Hello everybody, my name is Andy Lovato, and this video is a companion to my big book of blues guitar. I'm trying to make the blues as straightforward, as simple as possible, and get some good things coming out of your fingers here. So in this video, I want to continue talking about embellishing your blues with different scales. Last time we talked about the blues scale and the country scale mixed together. And this time, I want to look at the beauty of the minor seventh scale as it fits over the blues. So let's take the blues scale in the key of C up on the 8th fret and play that blues scale. Now the minor seventh scale is similar to the blues scale. In fact, the blues scale is contained within the minor seventh scale, but it just adds a couple of new notes to it. So here's the sound of the minor seventh scale. A few more notes in there. And this gives it a little bit of a darker sound, a more sophisticated sound that's reminiscent of players like Santana, for example. So in my book, the big book of blues guitar, I have this minor seventh scale illustrated along with all the other minor seventh scales. There's 5 of them, just as there were 5 blues scales, all up and down the neck. And by getting to know each of these, you'll be able to play that minor seventh scale up and down the neck. So let's go ahead and mix the minor seventh scale in with the blues scale and see what it sounds like. Blues scale, minor seventh, kind of a nice little addition to that blues scale. So try playing with this. See what kind of sound you get. Now the other thing I wanted to talk about is moving that minor seventh scale around the neck in order to get different sounds. In the same way that we moved our blues scale down to the 5th fret to make it into a folk country, we can move our minor seventh scale around to get different sounds to add to our blues scale. And I call this modal playing because it adds new notes to your blues. So for example, if I was playing in the blues in the key of C, I could take those minor seventh scales, move them down the neck a little bit. All of this is illustrated in my book. And I'd get a sound that would sound a little bit like flamenco or gypsy. So you've heard this quite a bit in flamenco music, but can this fit in the blues? Absolutely. Maybe throw in a few of those notes and then go back to your blues scale. Kind of gives you a nice little flavor. We could take another modal scale, the Mixolydian scale, add that in and give you a little bit of a jazz feel. Kind of interesting sounds to add to your blues. And as you play with the different modes, it's almost like putting another texture over your blues scale. Play around with the modes that I have listed in my book and see if it sounds good to your ears. Well, that's about going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed listening to the different minor seventh scales and the modes. Until next time, keep jamming them blues.